Good morning. Been up for a little while. Made sure I woke up. Actually, was able to wake up. Last few days of lots and lots of sleep. Thankfully, it's given me some level of energy. I still have to go to the house this week, and I hadn't decided if I was going today or tomorrow. And obviously, not going today. I gotta, I gotta put something over the driver's side window of my car because the window had dropped in it, went off track, which is whatever. Car runs and drives, but it's needed rear driver's side brake caliper and the running lights anyway. So the whole driver's side basically seems to be fucked on it, but whatever. It'll get fixed before I move. I know what areas I'm. Yeah, I basically just from sleeping on it, trying not to get my hopes up, but sleeping on things and all that stuff. I've made my decision on what areas I'm gonna move to. It's narrowing down quite a lot. So I mean, thankfully, the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't have to worry about packing anything into a U-Haul and doing all that shit. So that's been relieving on my mind. All I gotta do is just get the proper length of the storage pod things. Because I guess the 12 footers or something like that, they don't ship those. I guess they ship the 8 footers and the 16 footers, not the 12 footers. It's kind of ironic. Though those are stay local. But Coda, stop that. Coda, stop that, buttface. That's gross. But no, I just gotta make sure that my car's got all the little kinks repaired and go ahead get it a tune up and an oil change and all that stuff. Do all the fun funky stuff that's got to be done before you make a long trip, anyways. No, my head's still been in a little bit of the clouds here this morning. Just more on a good side than a bad side. A little distracted, which I kind of needed that distraction, I guess you could say. That positive distraction. At least it was distracting enough that when I went to, because I had ran to the market to go grab some Luckies, and while I was there, I was gonna grab some milk. I was gonna grab some milk and some shitty little, mini tacos from the gas station, basically. Which they really weren't that bad, but thankfully they were freshly made. But obviously I was distracted enough that even though I'm lactose intolerant, I still have moments, for some reason, I get the urge to drink milk. I like chocolate milk and I like white milk. The closest thing to strawberry milk that I've drinking is the tequila rose stuff. And that was a long time ago. I've had strawberry Nestle Quick as a kid and it was alright, but I gotta be honest, it makes me nervous. I thought I grabbed a thing of white milk, but I guess I didn't. Obviously. I thought it was whole milk or whatever. And it just tells you my brain isn't here still this morning. I'm fairly distracted. I'm just trying not to, yeah, like I said, trying not to get my hopes up. But once I get done at the house here tomorrow, it'll be the last time I go there. Trying to avoid any anxiety that I've been dealing with where that's concerned. And just trying to stay positively focused. Or whatever, focused on better things. There's still things that once I get moved, I'm weighing out as, options and stuff like that once moved. Sorry, this little ridge thing is just starting to kind of get on me a little bit. I love my hats, my Boston Scally caps. This one's not the Kenmore. The Kenmore has the leather. This is just the 8 panel. It's like the Peaky. Normally the Peaky one, it'll say Peaky on the inside, but it's just like an 8 panel, like a Peaky cap. So yeah, I love these hats. I know if I was 20 years younger, they wouldn't look right on me. But yeah, so I'm starting to get a little, what do you call it? Oh, it's just how it's shaped right there. Then again, it's just how my head's shaped too, probably. It's not the straightest head in the world, considering I got this dent in my head from when I was a little kid. I should have been dead from that, actually, to be honest, or some really serious brain damage. At the minimum, I shouldn't be, yeah. It was when we were living in Richmond, Virginia, as a kid, getting sidetracked, but might as well tell you. I remember I was with my dad there on base. We were at one of the, I can't remember if we were in the barracks or if it was one of his actual, like, the offices that he worked at. Because, yeah, it was, I think I was maybe 3 or 4 at the time. 3. I was maybe 3. Yeah, because I had my 4th birthday. If I remember right, it was my 3rd birthday that I had there in Virginia. My 3rd or 4th. I can't remember. I want to say, no, it was it had to have been my 3rd. Because we moved from Hawaii when I was like 2. But anyways, getting sidetracked by getting sidetracked. I remember helping my dad move some boxes up to this attic space of the building that he was in, and I want to say it was the office building he worked in, or administrative building. Well, I was obviously up in the attic space, with him. It's just like a door that you take and you walk up the stairs, and there's the attic. Just like, there's no weird stair thing that drops down or anything like that. It's just a regular door that goes up some stairs in the attic. Well, we oh, watch out, Ava. No, you watch out. She's being a weirdo. Anyways, while I was up there, my dad had went downstairs to go grab another box to bring up, and I had noticed that next door in the parking lot there was like a classic car show going on. There was a bunch of old cars out there, and so I was looking out the window, and thankfully I still have my fingers, because I shouldn't even have my fingers. I couldn't see or hear the fan. It was just like a big normal sized window that you'd see up in there. It was like, yeah, it was a square window, but it was like a 3x3 window. I want to say. And I put my fingers on the window pane, which, if I was probably any bigger of a person, like even now, I probably would at least dice the top of my fingers really fast on that window fan. It's a metal exhaust fan, and I started looking out the window. I'm on my tippy toes. I'm looking, trying to see the cars, and bing! Got it right in the head from the fan blade. I remember taking 2 or 3 steps back, and my dad was just walking up the stairs. I mean, his head had just peeked up over the rail looking thing, like this little wall rail thing in the stairs, and there's the wall that the window was on, and he had just walked up. He had the box in his hand, and he saw me take like the 2 step, I took 1 step back. By the time I remember my dad stepping up, and then it was like 2 more, and I just hit the floor. My dad dropped the box that he was carrying. I still remember him saying, "Oh shit." And that was really the last memory I had from that, until the next memory I have was I remember being in the hospital there, and I was sitting and in the nurse's station coloring, and I remember my dad coming in to visit that day, and I think my mom was there too. I do remember my dad showing up. But yeah, I mean, being 3-4 years old and having a big metal military exhaust fan just almost take off the front of my head right here. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that created some long-term issues that I'm probably more aware of now than we would have ever been. But no. That kind of gives you an idea of my misshapen head. It's not really misshapen. But I've had my bell rung really good many times, and not just from that. No, got those papers signed yesterday and sent back. Through all that process, have to I should hopefully have everything done on that with the selling of the house in the next week or 2. I mean, it has to be done no later than September 7th, and it's with the company I'm working with, obviously, on getting the house sold. So I'm getting excited about that. I mean, I'm trying to, through all the bullshit and the hell that I was going through, I've just been kind of trying to paint a silver lining around it a little bit, in the aspect of, through it all, I still worked my ass off, whether people recognized or not, to get that house to where it's at. The house was dilapidated and unlivable. And other than what little bit of help my younger son came in and did, which it wasn't really a little bit of help. That was hard work. It wasn't easy. I'm thankful that he still, even though him and his brother kept flaking, he still made sure to, during that time period, although not at the best times, he still showed up and still helped out. So, I mean, giving credit where credit's due, and he deserves it. He's a hard worker and all that. I don't hate my children. I'm not going to deal with the toxic behaviors and bullshit. They're grown men now, so. And I'm not going to force anybody to change. If you want to act certain ways or do certain things and you're a grown-ass adult, that's going to be on your plate. Just don't include me or expect me to be a part of it. That type of thing. I made enough bad decisions as a teenager. I made enough stupid decisions as a young adult. All that stuff. I've been doing everything I can Especially, you know, since that day I'd gotten the phone call from my younger son's mom asking if I wanted custody of him. And I was fucking all for it. I was like, oh, yes, yes, yes. There was no question about it. Ever since then, I've done everything I can to not ever fall back onto the same shitty, toxic choices I made that as a teenager and in my early 20s. I don't know how many times I've had my oldest son sit there and try and tell me I'm arrogant, thinking like I'm basically stating I think I'm better than everyone. There's no way I think I'm better than everyone. I'm not. It's just I learned from mistakes. I learned from other people's mistakes. I learned from shitty situations. Hell, of all things, I learned from movies. Sure, I can watch an action flick and laugh all the way through it and have a great time with it. Doesn't mean that I'm being influenced to think that the things that are going on in that are good or bad. I would say that's a bit of a mixed answer right there, because I'm not being influenced. I'm seeing something that, yes, I understand and recognize as entertainment, but I also recognize that many of the actions and decisions made in those films or even shows I wouldn't do, because it's not good. And I guess you could say it just depends on the movies. But I watch everything. Now, if it's something blatantly stupid or they make enough mistakes in the movie, I'll get irritated. I'll genuinely get irritated. I still remember my buddy Nate and I, we watched the X-Men movies. The very first one, it wasn't too bad. It was exciting. It was like, cool, get to see some of my favorite, comic book characters in live action. I actually enjoyed the first X-Men for most part, and I enjoyed the second one, but it was getting a little okay. And then the third one, when we went to the theater and watched it, it almost hit to the level of Gravity, like the movie Gravity. For me, that movie next to Jeepers Creepers I cannot stand those fucking movies. I cannot stand those movies. With that third X-Men, though, my buddy and I, we were sitting there watching, and I mean, it cost us like $50 to go watch this movie. The ticket, the popcorn, all that stuff. And we go to watch, and within 15-20 minutes of the movie started, we were already getting that. Oh no, they're fucking some shit up already. Halfway through the movie, okay, hurry up and get over with. I'm only watching and finish it because I didn't pay that kind of money to just walk out. It wasn't that horrible, in the sense of I'd just walk out and just say fuck the money, I'm walking out. That happened later, and that was with the Gravity movie. Oh man, that movie ended. The X-Men 3 movie ends, and we get up and we're like, motherfucker, I want my money back. It's like they took too many comics, for that, of what had happened. Let's say, for like The Walking Dead, for example, like an episode would be like 2 or 3 issues compacted into a single episode type thing, maybe 3 or 4, that type of thing. It's not like 100 different, or not that much. It's probably like a series of it's like they took 2 or 3 different storylines from the X-Men comics that are fairly long in each storyline and tried to slap it all together into one, and yeah, they fucked that up real bad. Visually, it was a good movie. And it's not on the actors on how bad the writers screwed it up. But the Gravity movie, I broke a whole row of fucking chairs, and I was like, nope, I'm out of here. And that was within the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like, that pissed me off. That movie pissed me off. Genuinely pissed me off. Like, no. No. It started off in the worst way possible, and the fact, oh god. I was gonna do a whole vid on my Lost in Thought Today channel on that movie. And I was gonna, because I do a lot, if I was to rank a movie from shit to 10, that movie was like a double shit. I was like, no, I cannot stand that movie. Jeepers Creepers, like, just above that. Just above it. Because I can still... As much as that movie would not have happened if they hadn't turned around. I'm gonna go look in a hole real quick and see what he dropped down there, instead of just go straight and call the cops. Derry did the one thing that nobody even on spectrum like myself or Down syndrome wise would ever stop me. You know what? I just watched him drop. I'm pretty sure I watched him drop a body down that hole. Let's go check it out. Never happened. Never happened. You're gonna, oh my god. In real life, that just simply would not happen. And I understand in movies, there's a lot of shit that would never happen. But I do like some level of realistic reaction to certain things within a film. And that one is like, no. The Evil Dead remake was pretty bad. It's like, okay, the guy was smart enough to figure out how to make a heart defibrillator out of a couple spatulas and some jumper cables. But he couldn't figure out, with all the fire that was going on in that movie, he couldn't figure out at one time. None of them could figure out how to heat up a piece of metal and cauterize a wound. Instead, they just duct tape it. So, yeah, I had some pretty good sleep. I passed back out yesterday after my walk and woke back up about 5 o'clock this morning, and it was a decent morning at least. I mean, there's things that I would like to talk about, but I'm just not going to right now on here. Coda. Coda and the turkey. Fucking turkey. Peepers is always picking on the dogs. And then the dogs are always picking on the turkey. It's like they've been playing and chasing each other. But between them, the dogs are playing, but I think the turkey would actually genuinely hurt the dogs. Right now, Coda and Snoopy are playing. Here, I'll show you. Oh, Nana. So you got Coda, Snoopy, and Turkey. See, Turkey's gonna fuck with the puppy. So, yeah. No, it's just... This morning's different. I mean, yeah, I still have a lot of anxiety going right now, especially about the idea of going down the house. And my mood will change as I get closer to that place. Like, that place, that place was fucking hell. The entire time there was fucking hell. It was a prison. And I'm trying not to put myself back into that mindset right now. So, I mean, I'm trying to stay focused on other things, like the move and all that stuff, more positive stuff. But yeah, that house gives me nothing but anxiety. I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with that fucking town. I want nothing to do with that person. I want nothing. Yeah, it's been, for most part, like I said, it's been a fairly good morning for once. I mean, I slept good. I slept longer than I expected. Still woke up hurting pretty good, with my back being the way it is, but I've been dealing with that even on my custom bed that I'm leaving at the house. Spent a lot of money on that bed, but I'm not taking it for reasons. But like I said, there's things I really want to talk about, but I'm not going to right now because I'm not very certain or sure it's just weird. I don't know how to say it or explain it anyways. Definitely looking forward to moving. It's nerve-wracking, overwhelming and all that stuff, but I'm looking forward to it. Things things are hard right now, and yes, there's still plenty that is still fresh in my emotionally that I've tried to avoid because it'll just set me back. It'll just put me backwards, and I don't need that. I've been trying to let go of all the toxic shit and move on. That's Masha. Hi, Masha. Little Miss Kissy Face. Yes, little Miss Kissy Face. Okay, you get down, monster. You get down. She's our spectrum puppy. And yes, look up canine autism. It's real. Be surprised how much I have in common with that dog. No, I'm joking. I'm on spectrum too, but I'm not going to compare myself to a dog like that. That's just funny. But no, getting that email yesterday morning and signing the papers, there's been some relief there, because it's like, at least I know that we're still moving. I'm still moving forward when it comes to the selling the house, and I'm not just sitting in limbo going, okay, what's going on? This is gonna happen sooner than later. That type of thing, because I don't want to be stuck with that fucking house. I really don't. Free up my income at least, and then, yeah, I know once it's sold, I admit I am looking forward to getting a bike. I'm not going to necessarily get a truck right away. I need one, but I figured I'm going to wait till after moving. I mean, I might go as far as getting, like, the little hitch hookup and all, because I can get one for my Fiat of all things, which is pretty cool. It just can't, obviously, I can't tow like a camper or anything, but I can tow a motorcycle or an ATV, that type of stuff. I mean, heck, I could get one of those, what are those camper things that they got now for motorcycles that you can tow, and it sleeps like 1 or 2 people in it. I could probably tow one of those, which that would be kind of awesome. But no, I've been wanting another bike for a long time, and it's gonna be probably the one thing I'll splurge on. A home is a necessity. Getting my business going and all that stuff, that is a necessity. A motorcycle is not a necessity. That's a want. And I don't know. I like my little bike. I did use that to go and do photography here and there. Just, I realized it didn't have enough power really to move about safely where I was living, where the house is. So getting a bigger bike, I'm not going to have that worry at all. Of being able to move about safely amongst traffic. But it'll also make things easier, like if I have to do any form of travel from wherever I'm living at, it would be cheaper to travel on bike than it would in car. So once moved, and I get things situated, because I'm going to find the right place and get things situated right to where I'm going to get one of those doggy door things that can't be open except for with the collar things with the chips in it. And I want to get those for my dogs, so that way I get one of those doggy doors put in wherever I end up moving to, and make sure that obviously the place is fenced off right and has the snake fencing and shit like that, because then it would allow me to be able to leave for, a day or two without worry of my dogs not being able to go outside. Food and water's easier to set up for them than it is to be able to make sure they can get in and out. So, I mean, I'm looking at ways of being able to manage being able to not be so homebound or home ridden, because, pet bound, I think it's called. I know with some of it too, no, I'm not going to talk about that. I just, yeah, there's some things I still want to do good by, I want to continue on being able to help other people. I'm going to be very careful about what I say on that, where that's concerned, because I don't want anyone calling or thinking I'm just going to outright help them because I know them, or we've been friends for a long time. That type of stuff. I've been used really bad by my ex, and because of what they did to me, it's affected all my relationships, all my friendships. So, I mean, and I don't pass blame on any of them. I guess when it comes down to it, I don't even pass necessarily blame on her really anymore. She's acting out how she acts out. That's her personality, and so long as she wants to be that kind of person, I don't ever want to be around that person. And right now, because of the damages done, I don't think I could ever bring myself to be around that person ever again anyways. Like I said, I just hope they don't end up finding somebody who genuinely treats them the way she demonized me to everybody else like. That was how she got away with cheating on me. That's how she would cover up her guilt. So, no. Things are definitely going to get better. I mean, they're getting better home-wise and financially. It's a waiting game right now. Other aspects of my life, we'll see what happens. Because I'm not advertising different aspects of my life right now, because like I said, I don't trust someone very much. I don't trust many of the people around me. And until I move, I don't really intend to. I don't have any intentions of anything like that right now. I still got a lot of healing to do. I still got baggage I need to deal with before I, even consider something like that right at this moment. So, anyways, that was just like my little morning ramble of just random shit, basically. Hope everybody out there has a good day and a good weekend. Even when things get really shitty and really hard. It sounds cliche and stupid, but yes, there is a silver lining in everything. And a lot of it has to do with the lessons that you learn from it. Whether you're learning about a person, place, or thing. We're on Earth, this Gummy-Bear in San Diego. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and take care. I'm late.